let's move, if we can, quickly to the last section we want to deal with in this lesson. And that wonderful section on how you can literally have growth, how you can double by building the structure. I've given you an assignment at the end of our last lesson. You might want to go back and keep that sheet in hand, look at it in your manual there. And that assignment was for you. It was very, very general. You see, you remember where we said, put your present structure, that's your classes, and you had to put the teachers and what they taught, the age they taught, how many you have average in attendance, and what your goal, your goal for Sunday school. We wanted you to start there. Now look in your manual with you, and you're going to find, I pulled the sheets out, you're going to find 4 different Sunday school structures in your manual. And I want to review those 4 with you. The first structure you're going to find is what we call a structure that will support a Sunday school of 50. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, preacher, you're saying, I already have more than 50. Well, glory to God. But let's start there and understand the simplicity of this concept of building a structure. It never changes. You'll notice some notes on the bottom of the sheet. The foundation of support. This foundation of 50 will support a growth surge of any number up through the hundreds and thousands. You never take the foundation, you only divide it, and it keeps multiplying out and getting broader. And look at everything simplistically so that we can see it. Notice on this foundation of 50, I'm going to stay here long enough for us to understand this. On this foundation of 50, we have only a nursery class, a primary class, an intermediate class, a youth class, and an adult class. Only 5 classes. So you only need 5, we call them directors or teachers, division directors or teachers, whatever. You need 5. And you need, notice space is blank. You need a space to meet. If the nursery is going to meet, they need a space. Let's understand our definitions here. Department of class. So we're going to departmentalize as we grow. At this point, a class is a department. The nursery is a class, and it is the department. Age group. Notice we got birth through 4 years old. So you say that's not good. No, it's not good. This is for a brand new church just getting started. This is what we recommend a church do the first Sunday. This is what we did the first Sunday. I've had, in the last year, 2 friends that have started a church. My boy David, who teaches on our Soul Winning Directors Institute, started a brand new church just weeks ago. Another friend of mine, John Hamilton, started a brand new church just a couple of months before he did. And we've dealt in this whole thing of Sunday school. It's exciting to see what's happening and to see already what God has done to begin to grow this thing. Because when they start this church, they need to start a Sunday school right away. That means they need 5 workers. And one of them may be themselves, one their wife. So you can see how simple it is to put these 5 workers in place. Now, what is going to happen is you're going to have a nursery, you're going to have a primary, an intermediate, you're going to have a youth, and you're going to have an adult section. And you've got a space for each one of them to meet. That is the space in your building. That's room so-and-so. Or auditorium. That's the space. And then the person's name should go in as teacher or director right there. Now, notice carefully, I'm not going to read all the notes on the bottom. I want you to study. In fact, if you have to turn the tape off right here, any one of these structures, and study this until you understand it, call us with any questions. We're here to help you in this. This is so important that I mean it. Call us if we can help you. Because we must put the structure in place. You're going to, in a minute, see that one of these structures fits your structure that you filled out on the assignment that we gave. That's because I want you to know where you are. A few brief changes and the structures are exactly alike. That's where you are. I'm 100 or I'm 75. I'm 150. I know where I am right here. Okay? Now, that's structure number 1. And notice we have 5 teachers, so it has the potential to grow your Sunday school to 50. Be very satisfied with a structure like that with a Sunday school of 50. Now, look with me for just a minute at what we call at this point, we call it our second structure, our chart B, and you notice this builds a Sunday school of 100. The 50 becomes 100. That means you double your Sunday school. Now do you see, studying these 2 charts, how easy it can be for you to double your Sunday school? What are you going to do? Notice the departments. And again, I'm going to go slow enough for you to see. It's going to really take off in a minute. But I want you to see, all we have done is taken the nursery and divided it into nursery and beginners. Now we're going from birth up through 4 years old, but we've got 2 teachers in place, 2 division leaders in place, and they might have a helper with them to help in there. That's what I've got with teacher and director. Notice primaries. We had one primary class. Now we have 2. A natural division is to separate boys and girls. So we got primary boys and primary girls. Same thing on intermediates. We got intermediate boys, we got intermediate girls. Grades, if you'll notice very carefully, primary is kindergarten through grade 2. That's 5-year-olds, first grades and the second grade. Then intermediate, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Then junior high, we've taken the youth, divided into half, and we've got 6th, 7th, and 8th. And we got youth, which is 9th through 12th. Notice what we did up in the adult section right here. We made the adult go what I call college and career, high school graduates, college students, unmarried professionals. We took all of these and put them in one group. We don't have much room now. We don't have many teachers, and we're trying to get to 100. But we do not want to get off the foundation. We don't want to get off the structure. Then we have the adult section, all other adults. And notice now, count them up, you have 10 different teachers. 10 times 10 is 100. I can assure you of this, if you're running 50 and you take a sheet of paper like I've given you for your second structure, follow carefully, leave it blank, fill in the age groups exactly like I have, now recruit the teachers and fill the teachers in where they go, now assign them to a space. Get everybody together. We'll teach you how to do this in a later section. And train these 10 workers. That's what these videos are for. Do you understand the power of these videos? Do you understand the power of this teaching? You know what you can do? We want you to do this. We want you, after you finish all of this training, to get all your teachers together and let them get trained. They know what their function is. They know what they're to do. The light bulbs go, oh, yeah. We're not trying to keep people in darkness. We're not trying to say, hey, we know a whole lot. We know a little bit less than he does. We know less than they do. No, we go down the pecking order. No, everybody understands what their function is, how to do a great job. Now, when you fill out this second sheet, when you fill this chart out, and you put everybody in place and start, listen, within months, you're going to be running 100 in Sunday school. We just need to begin to function like we're talking about. Chart number 3. Now, notice chart number 3 goes to 2 pages. Why? Because we've divided it out. This is really exciting. On these 2 pages, what you're going to find, very simply, is that we have divided nursery and beginners. Notice nursery and go to chart number 2. You'll find that nursery now is in 3 different areas. You'll find beginners now is in 2 different areas. You'll find primary, now we got boys A, boys B, girls A, girls. All we do is keep dividing, keep dividing. It's simple. Do you have to divide it exactly like we have? No. Depends on your attendance. You may have first and second grades together, or you say, oh, I got so many in first grade, I can have one for first grade, one for second grade. Then intermediates, youth, and adult. And I want you to read all the way down through there and watch what this goes to. It's a very exciting thing to understand. Notice I've got some notes on the bottom of this, and this goes from 190 up to 200. That's the reason we go from 190 to 250. Now, what is a group captain? Write it down. Make a note of it. Very important. What is a group captain? Boy, this is a simple definition. A group captain is exactly like a Sunday school teacher, except they don't teach. Boy, that's easy to understand, isn't it? What does a group captain do? Well, when I had an adult class, and our adult class grew in Grand Rapids, I had the auditorium, and our adult class, we started out, as I remember, somewhere around 30 or 40. Well, 30 or 40 was more than I could keep up with. I'm not supposed to keep up with 10 or whatever, so I had 4 group captains when I started. So we got Group A, Group B. We let them choose their own name, Calvary Group, Grace Group, whatever. We got Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. Now, what do they have? We'll get into it later in records. They have their own records. And so these group captains have their own records. And they do everything the teacher does, except what? They don't teach. They take their roll. They make their contacts. They turn in their contact sheet like everybody else. This is exciting. They turn in their contact sheet. So here you got people, group captains, who feel, man, I'm afraid of teaching. I don't know if I can do that. Notice we wanted workers. Hey, this is wonderful. Now, our class grew 70 or 80. You say, well, you needed 70 or 80, you needed 7 or 8 group captains. That's only if I wanted to maintain Another tremendous word. Maintain. We never want to maintain. We always want to position ourselves for growth. Boy, I guess that's another one a light bulb needs to go on, isn't it? We never want to maintain. We want to position ourselves for growth. If I'm teaching 70 in an adult class and I want to maintain, I need 7 group captains. Then I can give every one of them 10. Watch this. If I want to double the adult class, I need 14 group captains. It was very, very difficult for me to always get that double number, so I'd always say I need 7, and I'd start off, I get 10 or I get 12. And I'd break those roles down. Everybody had a role. And everybody, and you'll see this later on as we get into the function, a little bit of the calendar and what happens, but every one of my groups in my adult class, I may be teaching 70 or 100. Every group, they operated as an independent Sunday school class. But they were in our master's adult class here. I had one secretary at the back. The one secretary would take all of the group captains' reports, all of the records would go in, and that one secretary for my adult class would make the major adult class information sheet that would go into my Sunday school office. You see how it works? The group captain fills out their report, so there's individual accountability. The group captain all turns it into the back table. 12 different group captains would turn it in. They add it on a master list, and my class secretary carried it to the Sunday school office, and they put it in for that adult class. So the adult class on the major list may say you had 112 in attendance. So many contacts, so much offering. We'll tell you how to do all this later on. Okay, but I had group captains who were making it a reality. I think personally that group captains work very well anywhere from junior high all the way through adult, any adult class. This is a way in the space problem to solve the space problem, by the way, because we can put maybe 8 or 10 workers to work, you know, in one space. So that group captain is introduced there. Quickly move, if you will, to our next one. Look at our next one with us for a little bit. And our next chart talks about how to go from 380 to 680. Now, I want to tell you, I want to challenge you to pick these sheets up and take a look at this, because these are very, very important. How to go from 380 all the way up to 680. And when you begin to look at these, it gets very, very exciting to see what God can do. And I want you to study every one of these, because all we have done is we've broken it down again. We've broken it down again. We've broken it down again. Now, I wanted you to have this so that you could look at it and put it together and make it work for you. You'll see that you'll go all the way through these 2 pages, and you'll see that we have the potential from 92 teachers with 10 pupils each and group captains. I mean, you put all of that together, with all of this together, there's room to go to 920. I mean, it's exciting when you begin to put it together and you begin to see it work. So I want you to look at that and study that structure sheet. Again, call us if we can help. You notice that what we've done is gone from 50 to 100, and 100 to 190 to 250, and then we've jumped up from 250 to where you've got a structure to 380. All you do is keep dividing. All you do is recruit the teachers, and you assign them to a space, and you train them how to function. The last chart that you're going to find is a structure. We put 920 on the top of it. And we indicated why, because what you're going to do is get involved 92 teachers and group captains together. And they're going to do the job of contacting 10 people each. Now, I don't want to stay on this 920, because a church that's running 500 or 600 in Sunday school or 700 in Sunday school, it's easy to think 900. May be hard to obtain it, but it's easy to think it. But a church running 100 or 50 or 80 or 120 in Sunday school. I know a lot of churches with 250 in preaching that run only 100, 150 in Sunday school, and they throw their hands up. What I do? Don't let me confuse you by jumping to 920. Wherever you may find yourself, I want to make it simplistic enough for us to understand. Watch. It only becomes more detailed. It does not become more complicated. Moving from 50 to 100, what do? We divide our classes to where instead of having 1 primary, we got 2. How do you move to the next level? Instead of 2 primary classes, you got 4. How do you move to the next level? Instead of having 4 primary classes, you have 8. How do you move to the next level? Instead of having 8 primary classes, you got 16. At that time, you're running about 2,000, because every other place, and I want to tell you, it's not necessarily that easy. The space problem, when it really gets fluid, is going to become one of the greatest problems you have to solve. That is how to build that. How to have the buildings in place and make that thing work.